haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Spoil it in your face.
That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Bet your pocket cotton band. Hey, everybody, I'm Eddie Collins.
Oh, God. Why are you so bad? Why are you so bad? Guys, it's Justin Brown.
Yeah, don't ever have me on Finish the Lyrics or whatever the fuck that show's called. We are Medium Popcorn, everybody, and we're spoiling The Amazing Spider-Man 2, starring Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Jamie Foxx, BJ Novak for some reason, Sally Field, Dale Hahn or whatever his name was, who was popping for a second, and then he fell off real quick because of this movie.
It's Dane
boy.
Hahn.
Dane, is that what his name is? It don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because when you're in a bad superhero movie and you gotta wear like a bunch of like costume, like, you know, makeup and like different like prosthetics and shit, and you just losing all your body weight because of sweat and shit. And then the movie gets panned and people are like, yo, you were whack. Like, it's gotta be so bad for you as an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamie Foxx came back. Luckily, he got to do a redo in Spider-Man No Way Home, because golly, this was like Batman and Robin as bad at times. Between Jamie Foxx and Paul Giamatti, this is like comically bad in moments.
Yeah. And, you know, so this was what, 2014, right?
Yeah.
So this is how many years after Jamie Foxx won the Oscar?
At
Like
least
maybe,
10?
About 10 years, something like that?
Yeah.
Bro, almost to the point where I remember when I watched this movie, I was like, oh, yeah, Jamie Foxx is in, so it's going to be solid, you know, like playing the villain.
Back.
Bro, I was just like, yo, it's time to retire, bro. It's time to retire.
It's not time to retire. You can't go out on this one.
No, because he also, I think,
He's so crazy in this.
a few years prior, he
Yeah.
hosted SNL, and he was so fucking bad on SNL. And I was just like, yuck. I was just like, whatever he's doing, I don't like it. But, you know, I think that may have been like right, that may around the Ray buzz.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, when this when this fucking hit, I was just like, I don't know if I like Jamie Foxx anymore.
I mean, it's really bad. Like his portrayal of Max Dillon, Max is clearly not doing well on a lot of levels. His hair, he's got a weird ass comb over. He's got a gap in his teeth and everything. Nobody respects him. No one sees him apparently. But also he was giving serial killer vibes. He's giving like one of those kind of like, you know, I could be bad. Like he's like, if no one's gonna pay attention to me for doing the good stuff, then I'm gonna be bad, and then you're gonna really pay attention to me.
He's basically like an incel, but it's not directed at women.
Yes, it's directed at Spider-Man, who was like,
which is weird.
Again, which is what gives it like a lifetime murder like thing. Because like Spider-Man saves him at the beginning of the movie, catching all his blueprints and shit. And it's like, hey Max, look my hand. Let me help you with your comb over. You're my eyes and ears, Max. And then Jamie Foxx like, I'm his eyes and ears. I'm his eyes and ears. I mean, yeah. And then he's just like, and then he becomes Electro. He's like, Spider-Man, you don't remember me? It's like, nigga, I save thousands of people a day. But yes, I remember you because you had that crazy ass hair and stuff. And then Jamie Foxx was like, but you don't know me. I was like, all right, Emperor Palpatine, calm the fuck down. Like, now everyone's gonna remember.
So, all right. Also, at the same time, to get we do have to give Jamie a little bit of leeway here, because obviously this role was not made for a black person. They just plugged this nigga on in there because in no fucking universe have you ever seen a nigga have a fucking comb over like that unless his process went real fucking bad. Because he looked fucking nuts.
And
he
Jamie
looked
Foxx
nuts.
is bald most of the time, so we know he looks good bald. So Max Dillon should know, like, hey, if I just cut it all off, I actually look better.
You know what? Or just have the hair on the side. But having a comb, like, I don't know why. What?
George Jefferson. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
Why did this nigga have a fucking perm? Why did he perm the fucking hairs on the top and comb it over? That's not something you'll ever find a black person doing. That was fucking ridiculous. Our hair texture does not do that.
I haven't seen black hair on an actor like that since Mekhi Phifer in 8 Mile. It was bad.
Bro, I was sitting there watching this. I was just like, why did he let them do that?
I don't know.
Because also Jamie Foxx had the chops. He had the he had the pull to be like, hey, yo, the comb over shit, that don't make no fucking sense. You know what I'm saying? All they had to do is just not shave the sides on his head and just be bald up top.
Well, hey, listen, he doesn't have to deal with it too much in the movie because eventually on his birthday, apparently, he's tasked with fucking fixing electrical cords in a lab that's being ran by a company that makes billions of dollars. There's fucking sparks happening, and he puts these tubes together. It shoots him down into a fucking what's that? What kind of like is it? That's not a bucket. Obviously, it's way bigger than that. What the fuck was that? The chamber, a water chamber full of eels, and then the
Electric eels.
Were they electric, or did because the power line got into the water? Also,
no, those were electric eels.
So they were electric eels and electric eels biting them and shit.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh.
That whole thing was just fucking out of fucking control. The whole thing was out of fucking control. It was the weirdest version of the Joker that we've ever fucking seen.
And it fixes his teeth for some reason. It takes off all of his hair, and then he disintegrates, and then he becomes Electro, and he's blue for some reason, which is like, why even do that change? That made no sense.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with Max Dillon, memory serves, has kind of like a tragic arc as a villain. Like the way he becomes Electro is like kind of sad. And so for them to do this with Jamie Foxx, I was like, this is very Batman.
Wait, how does how does he become Electro
in the comics?
Yeah, do you know?
Isn't he like an electrician or something like
that? I'm not sure. I was Uvia is gonna look it up. So let's go. Uvia will give us the update on that one.
Okay, got it. All right, and then we got to talk about Paul Giamatti, who plays Alexei Stigalavlov, who becomes the Rhino at the end. And that's when I was like, is this a movie for like 5-year-olds? Because when he like takes off his he gets webbed up and shit after like he just is slamming this armored truck throughout the city and shit. And he's yelling at Spider-Man in Russian, and then Spider-Man does the thing where his boxers come down, like his pants come down, so he's only in his boxers. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, he gets hit in the head with something, and he's like knocked out, and like as he's standing up with
ball or something.
No. Something flies into the air, and then he's webbed up there, and then as he's standing there with his boxers around his ankles, it falls down, hits him in the head, and knocks him out. He's standing there like knocked out. I was just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here, but at first, I was just like, "Wait, is that Paul? No, that's not Paul Giamatti." That I was like, "Oh no, that is Paul Giamatti."
Man. That's who they got some A-listers to do some dog shit. All right, our producer Uvia is saying Max Dillon gained his powers when he was struck by lightning while repairing a power line. The shock combined with high tension wires and a magnetic field from a spool of cable he was holding created a mutagenic change in his nervous system, turning him into a living capacitor. I was going to say chiropractor. And they start fucking breaking up backs. All your knots are gone, baby. Yeah. Give you a medical massage. That's a superpower, baby.
Sports massage 101.
So here's the thing with Andrew Garfield in this movie. Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, they do their job, and they do their job very well. They both have
also
great
Emma
chemistry.
Stone looks fucking great in this.
She looks fucking hot in this movie. But they had great chemistry, and it's very tragic what ends up happening to Gwen Stacy in this movie. This movie does not deserve the tragedy that happens. It's very much like Batman v Superman. I remember watching that movie, and when Superman's about to fight Doomsday, I remember turning to Tatiana. I was like, they're not about to do fucking Death of Superman. Like, that's way too intense, but also this movie doesn't deserve that because it's such a pivotal storyline. You know what I mean? In comic lore, to kill like that Superman finally dies. And then for this movie, like when they had the third act with the Green Goblin and stuff, I turned to Tatiana and I was like, they're not really about to kill Gwen right now, are they? With this dog shit movie? And then they did it. And I was like, and they kill her in a brutal way, dude. Her head, you hear that on the ground.
No, it just snapped her back.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear that. And it's like, it's a brutal death, man. And also top of that, Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker is haunted by what's his name? Dennis Leary, Captain Stacy's like spirits. throughout this whole fucking movie. Like, because Captain Stacy's like, hey, you're gonna have a lot of danger. Stay the fuck away from my daughter, bro. And
don't get her involved in it.
Yeah, and Peter Parker immediately is like, all right, sir. And he just goes plowing out Gwen Stacy. He's just like, actually,
but
do we know if he ever fucked her?
Oh, he was fucking her with that radioactive dick. Yeah, for sure he was. Yeah. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah, the way she was looking
and think about it. Think about it, Brandon. You Spider-Man, you're fucking 17, 18 years old, right? You think that you ain't webbing this girl? Well, not. Hold on. Let's walk back from that because that's just different. But you know, take her on take a little ride somewhere high, and y'all pounding on the top of buildings at all sorts of wild places. Like, and you're a teenager, bro. This, like, you are having the best sex of your life. Of course they are doing. Like, it's crazy.
That was okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, come on, baby. Because you remember you in high school, you have sex in the car, things like that. No, it's different.
But the thing is, so about the second that Peter Parker breaks up with Gwen Stacy because he's like, I'm constantly thinking you're having visions of your dad. It's fucking with me. Like, I gotta like stay away from you. Like, I got like to keep you safe. I gotta stay away. And then he starts stalking her as Spider-Man. And then he eventually like admits that to her, right? He's like, I follow you. She's like, are you following me? He's like, like sometimes, like once a day, most times. And I was like, Spider-Man's coming off creepy now. Because what if they legit broke up? And like, I mean, they did break up, but what if she started dating someone else? He's just gonna be fucking swinging around like and just watching and shit.
But bro, he's 18 years old.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Yeah. And I think because that's something that an 18-year-old kid would do. He doesn't know how to deal with those emotions. Also, he has abandonment issues.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah. That opening scene with the parents, that's such an
unnecessary storyline.
So unnecessary because we're never going to learn the mystery. And we're never going to learn. They clearly were hinting that one of them might still be alive. Because you don't actually see the plane crash.
Nigga, them dead. Them dead. Them downstairs.
There's no other movies. This movie is supposed to be a jumping off point for so many spinoffs and additional sequels and shit.
Yeah, they were gonna do the Series 6 after this and all that.
Sinister 6.
Sinister, sorry. Series 6. Motherfucking financial institutions coming after Spider-Man. No, I mean they're definitely dead. In this world, I don't think that they're trying to say it's like, oh no, that they survived. It's just the fact is like, oh, obviously,
Peter.
No, Harry's dad. Why am I forgetting?
Oh, Norman Osborn.
Norman Osborn. Yeah, killed his dad. You know what I'm saying?
Played by Chris Cooper, Oscar winner Chris Cooper. That was weird.
Well, I mean he was only in this for 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's a different twist to have Norman be the sick one and Harry is the one that kind of takes on the Green Goblin mantle and stuff. But it's just so poorly executed. We're supposed to believe that Harry and Peter are like childhood friends. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. Y'all from like different boroughs. Like, how would y'all even have met? Also,
no, but if their dads worked in the same in the same thing, that's how.
Yeah, I think that's something that didn't bump for me in this one, though, because I'm like, all right, so Peter Parker's dad was so involved in Oscorp to the point where he actually is responsible for the spider that bit Peter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck isn't Peter doing anything at Oscorp? You know what I mean? Like, that would be easy layup for like an internship. Like, he should have been working with Gwen Stacy in the first one. Instead, he's sneaking around Oscorp like he has a connection to that company.
Yeah, but Peter's just coming into his own, man. He wasn't, you got to put it in the sense of like, young kid, he's not fucking confident in himself. He lost his uncle. He's lost, he's has a lot of loss in his life. Yeah. He's fucking just trying to find himself. So like, I think that kind of checks, but eventually he gets there because he has the intellect to make it there. It's just, yeah, this movie ain't it. This movie ain't explaining all this.
I know, but it's so frustrating because Andrew Garfield plays a really good tortured Peter Parker and a really good sarcastic Spider-Man. The Spider-Man speaking sequences in this movie are probably the second best in the whole series. I would still say Spider-Man 2 was the best with Doc Ock, but this one had some great fucking sequences with Spider-Man.
So I would say so. Something about this movie, that third act after Gwen Stacy dies, that was the. I don't know. I don't know if I'm give. Actually, I may give it the Andrew Garfield over Tom Holland. What he did in not Homecoming,
No Way Home.
No Way Home. It's like he did a really good job with that the tortured fucking Spider-Man, like, you know, and that was this is like 6 months after Gwen died.
Yeah.
Like those scenes, like I felt that. Like I felt those scenes, like his depression, his fucking, you know, his level of mourning. And then like even when he shows up, you know, spoiler alert for a movie that's been out for fucking 20 like no, I guess 12 years at this point. When that little kid you know, steps up in front of Rhino and then he comes in, it was like that that felt great. You know what I'm saying?
Until we saw the Rhino machine, and then I was like, "Oh god!"
Well, that's a whole different.
I'm the Rhino. I crush you, and then he gets on all fours. I was like, "Why would you do that? You're good on 2 feet. What are you doing? You don't have to do that. That's extra energy, nigga. This ain't a fucking Pacific Rim. What are you doing?"
Well, I mean, also to make that into machines as opposed to Rhino being the Rhino.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that part was. The Rhino part was weird, but just the emotion and just how, you know, they played that last 10 minutes of this film, 10-15 minutes of the film, I was just like, man, like this really there's a part of me that wishes that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man really got more films and was able to play out his story more.
Yeah, but this movie was such dog shit. It was so bad that like the word of mouth killed it immediately. Like it was like the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie, I think.
Yeah, but it wasn't his fault.
I know. That's the thing is, I think that's why No Way Home. So many, like me personally, I loved his performance in that movie because I was like, he at least got to. Not that he had to redeem himself, but like people were like remembering, like, no, those movies aside, like he was good as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Like he was good.
So I think the first Amazing Spider-Man, I don't think that was a bad movie.
I know you think it's fine, but I just like, you know, the Tobey Maguire, like the first 2 are so good. Obviously, Spider-Man 3 is its own shit show. And it didn't really tell too much of a new story. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Lizard being the main villain. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man has such a great rose gallery of villains. I was just kind of, I get you're doing something different, but like immediately when you put a reptile as the main villain, I'm like, oh, okay, so we're going fantastical with this Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's really good. It just sucks that the script, it's just very obvious that Sony was trying to do so many different things at once by like overstuffing it with different villains. Then we had this whole conspiracy at the end with like they're quite clearly trying to put together the Sinister Six with this different technology because we see the Vulture wings and Doc Ock arms and stuff. And I'm just like, even I remember seeing in the theater being like, they're trying to do too much right now. This is insane.
Crazy thing is, and now, you know, much like you just said in the first Amazing Spider-Man, you know, our thing's a big lizard, which actually leans more into why didn't they give us a real fucking rhino as opposed to this weird mechanical rhino? You know, it's like you've already gone that far and gone into the realm of like, okay, there's weird fucking like creatures in this world that this Spider-Man is dealing with, which are dangerous. Which, you know, that's from the comics. It's just like, let's lean into that. Give us fucking Rhino. Because we also know Rhino is a fucking problem.
Yes. And also, like, I mean, they're already, because they're so nonchalant. Like when Harry takes over the company after Norman dies, he's talking to the board and he's like, oh yeah, like, you know, we have a PR image problem because the Dr. Connors tried to turn the whole city into lizards, but he says it so flippantly. It's like, guys, that was weird, right? Like, there was a nigga trying to make people lizards. Like, what are we talking about?
Nuts. That's fucking nuts.
I mean, it does take people a while in Times Square to realize that there's a blue electric nigga squeezing pipes in the middle of it. And also, that was crazy. When Jamie Foxx was like, what's happening? Why are y'all upset at me? It's like, dude, you're in Times Square. You open up a grate and start like putting your hands on an electric like line. Yeah, you're going to draw some attention. People are going to get scared.
So that's also the thing about this film, which was bothering me is, all right, Spider-Man is fighting a very dangerous person, right? And then people is just like, hey, let's put up some police lines. Everybody just stand behind it and let's watch Spider-Man do his thing. Nigga. Nigga.
So that triggered me. And I like, try to pivot if I'm getting too serious or whatever. That triggered me because last Monday, I was on the A train. It was on the news. I was in the subway car where these young teenagers were fighting, and then one of them got shot twice.
Like, oh, you were on the train?
Car. Like I ran to the other subway car once we heard the first pop, and then we heard second pop. The two like aggressors, they ran off the train. The train obviously stopped at 80th Street. It was on the A train over here, and because like there's so few of us in the subway car where it all happened. Like me and another person, we went back because no one else knew what the fuck happened. Everyone's just down on the ground, and so then we see this young man bleeding out. So me and the other passenger, we call 911. Tell them what happened and stuff. And then the cops come within 5 minutes. So like the kid's actually like from last I saw, he's in stable condition stuff. So he lived, right? But he's bleeding out his face, his chest. Cops come. And then all these people start crowding around this poor kid as he's bleeding out on the subway floor. And I was just like, what is it in humans to just make them be like, I'm just going to go look at this fucking horrific scene and take my camera out and take photos of it. And like, I just don't understand that. That was insane to me.
Well, I mean,
it's not a spectacle. This is a young man.
Because we've been desensitized.
I guess, yeah.
We've been utterly desensitized to all these things, these horrible things that are going on. And it's, it's weird that it's all of a sudden it's normal. Like, bro, I didn't know that happened to you. That's fucked up. I'm sorry.
And I think you're right because like me even bringing it up, I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen to me, and I go on the A train the next day. You know what I mean? Because you have like that's just life. Like I can't stop taking the train. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And like you just said in the chat, she goes like, I felt like that when Cody's memorial, when he passed away, people were there taking selfies and smiling like though the dude died, like for content. Like, yeah, like people, it's like, I don't know, people have lost, well, I think empathy is still out there, but people just don't know how to react to real world events anymore. Yeah. And like, yeah, you know what? Like things have happened over time, and I'm just like, is nobody gonna do anything? We're all just gonna stand around and just let this shit happen. I don't know. We're fucked as society right now. But like I said, we're desensitized to all of this shit. It's normal now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the thing with superhero movies, though, is like you have to like imagine like the avatars that are like the background people and stuff like that in these movies. They basically are like, oh yeah, like a monster or like a supervillain thing. That's crazy. Like, but like not because I mean at this point, Spider-Man's been in action for what, a year or two. So I guess people are used to a nigga just swinging around the city. So I guess like anything after that's kind of like, all right. I mean, because that's what happens to Batman, right? The Dark Knight, that's the whole thing with the villains, right? The various villains are like, we're all theatrical now because you dress like a bat. Like, you gave us license to just be weird now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, but still, even so, like when it's different though, because like in Batman, let's just talk about this cinematic world built by Christian Bale or whatever, right? In Batman, they're grounding all of that in realism, right? In Spider-Man, there's a nigga who's flying around and he's electric.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
That is not something I'm standing around and hanging around for. Once I see a nigga shooting fucking electricity out of his hand, I am gone. Yes. I am fucking gone. 100%, but also, I am black as fuck. So I am not going to be one of the white folks who goes, well, look at this, honey. Spider-Man's here to help. Like, Like, well, I'll learn about it on the news. If anything, I'm taking a picture from down the fucking block. Like, oh shit, snap.
We running. They had Electro and then later Spider-Man being shown on all the screens in Times Square. I'm like, that's not how that happens or anything. I don't think people that work on Spider-Man movies and video games know how Times Square works. Because even the Spider-Man 2 video game with Kraven and the Venom fight and shit, I'm like, this is insane. Like, this fight is insane in Times Square. Also, the way that Electro blows. Sorry.
But you can get on the screen in Times Square. They technically can do that.
All right. But the way Electro just blows out the Times Square area, like breaks all those buildings down and stuff, I'm like, that's like a natural disaster. If that really happened in New York, that'd be like, that'd be bigger than 9/11. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
the city is on lockdown after that. Like, there's no,
there's millions of dollars of damage,
and probably millions, like not millions of people, but hundreds of people have been hurt or are dead.
Yeah,
because that's like, a very
also
condensed
niggas
area.
Are getting electrocuted. There's nothing but metal grates all over fucking Times Square.
Yeah. And that was also crazy when he was like Spider-Man's talking to Electro. And also Max Dillon is so insane. Before he even becomes Electro, he's telling people that he's best friends with Spider-Man because Spider-Man saved him one day. Like Max Dillon is clearly a troubled person. Yeah. And I wish that this movie had kind of leaned into, but it's sloppy writing, right? If this movie had leaned into what happens when a mentally ill person gets superpowers, that's something interesting because that's something they did in Gem V a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, what happens if like someone who's mentally unstable gets these powers? Like that's a problem, right? You know, they didn't do that because maybe it was because like, you know, they decided to go with Jamie Foxx. They're like, oh, it's a little bit more complex to lean into the mental health stuff because he's a black actor. Because I can see some studio people having that reservation.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't it. It wasn't
it's
it,
a mess.
Bro.
And then also, so Harry is also dying. His disease progresses very quickly, considering that he's like 18, 19, and his dad just died of this disease. And he's like, the dad's like, you're gonna get it too. It's in your blood. And then like within a month, like, within a month, Harry starts dying too. I'm like, wait, what? Like, does this just kick in when you hit a certain age? Like that, but then your dad's like in his 60s. What the fuck is going on here? I was like, that made no sense. And then he finds out that the spiders that Peter Parker's dad was working on the science lab, that one of those spiders had to have been Spider-Man. So then he's like, I gotta get Spider-Man's blood. It might help me. And so we literally have a scene where Spider-Man, played by Peter Parker, obviously, is talking to Harry Osborn. He's like, hey man, I can't give you my blood. While Harry's drinking like a double with whiskey. Like, you know what I mean? It's so crazy.
He's just like, because we don't know what this thing's gonna do, what my blood's gonna do to you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, yeah. He's just like, well, and the thing is, he didn't even say, I can't give you my blood. He says, we can't do it now. Yeah. AKA, we just need to do more research. Mm-hmm. And also, he was just like, I'll need it.
I mean, Harry was, if Peter Parker wasn't Spider-Man, and Peter Parker literally did call in a favor, like, you know, per Harry's request, he's like, you take photos of Spider-Man all the time, you know him. Please have him come to me. I need his blood. If Spider-Man really like had no connection to Peter Parker, right? And he didn't know Harry from Adam, right?
Yeah.
He would be like, this Harry dude's an alcoholic and possibly a drug addict. I'm not giving him my fucking blood.
Yeah.
Because Harry's just drunk and like he's all mopey and he's like discolored and stuff. He's like, I need your blood. How much I gotta pay you? It's like, that's not how this works, bro.
So this is the other thing. When Harry turns into the Green Goblin, he looks fucking nuts. Why did they do what they did with that character?
They put like computer chips in his neck and shit. It didn't make any sense. Like, what's going on? Like, he's half cyborg by the end of the movie.
Like, what is going on? Like, why? None of this made any fucking sense.
And what made it worse is he teamed up with Electro to try to like get Electro to take out Spider-Man so he could get Spider-Man's blood that way. And he has to go to some special facility in Oscorp where they're like experimenting on Max and shit. And they're also trying to cover up the fact that they killed this nigga. That he got killed in the lab. And they try to frame Harry Osborn. It was so convoluted. On top of that, Felicity Jones plays Felicia, aka the Black Cat. That never becomes a thing.
Even though she looked great.
Yeah, she did. I don't know what it is about her because she looks old and young at the same time.
Mm-hmm. She's kind of like Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, but like, for some reason, Felicity Jones does it for me.
She looks like a doll. That's why. She's like an old-timey doll.
Yeah. According to our producer, Ubius Trivia, Someone actually filmed. Okay, so Jane Levy and Kristen Stewart were considered for Mary Jane before the character was removed, and actually, Shailene Woodley filmed scenes as Mary Jane Watson, but they were cut to streamline the story. I think they're available online, where she's the neighbor at Aunt May's house, and like I think he connects with her after Gwen Stacy dies. It's supposed to be like towards the end.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, but that would have been even too much because also I think this movie was so disrespectful in killing Gwen Stacy. Like this is such a dog shit movie to have a powerful moment like that.
Yeah.
After like Electro just beat up Spider-Man to the itsy bitsy spider, and also the Spider-Man theme plays on the phone. I was just like, this is so corny. Like this doesn't even make any sense for this world.
Yeah. Also, like, Electro was very anticlimactic.
Yeah. I mean, the way that Spider-Man defeats him the first time in Times Square, he just sprays water on this nigga.
It's like,
oh, fire hose. Through a fire hose. And he just sprays him once. He doesn't even keep spraying him. He just sprays him once. Again, the racial thing though, because he probably had like they probably wanted it to be a bigger scene, but they're like, you can't be spraying this black man with a fire hose.
Election's just rolling down the fucking street. Like, dogs are biting them and shit.
Like, was this a movie where woke actually backfired on them? They're like, oh shit, Jamie Foxx is interested in playing Max Dillon. Electro, all right, dope. Like, let's give them the script so he can see what's going on. And as people get back, like, hey, you can't do some of this shit to Jamie. It's gonna look weird. You just played Django. You can't do this.
You can't be spraying this nigga with a fire hose, man. And sicking fucking German shepherds on him. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. The cops come in and beat him with billy clubs.
Jesus Christ. I feel like that's probably what happened.
Well, if that's what happened, Jesus Christ to the world.
To the world, not even. But yeah, this movie just has so much going on. And it's clearly trying to set up so many different things that aren't directly connected to Peter Parker's story in this movie.
Yeah.
If you were just stuck with the Osborns being like the main villains, you didn't need Electro in this. Because also, like you said earlier, like with Jamie Foxx's performance, tonally, it does not match. Yeah. Gwen Stacy, Peter Parker's, that's pretty heavy. It's pretty serious for the most part. Yes, they have like some cute romantic moments, but for the most part, it's like, hey, I'm like fucking suffering from PTSD from what happened with your dad. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. You're also trying to go to Oxford and shit. Like, maybe we are we together? Are we not together? Like things, you know what I mean? And then you got Jamie Foxx over here, like he's like, I want everyone to see me, and I want them to know a world without Spider-Man. It's like, nigga, you have so many bigger problems right now than Spider-Man.
Nigga, you got a comb over. You had a comb over as a nigga.
Not even that. This is when he's being tortured. I'm like, you have a weird German dude experimenting on you who doesn't seem to give a fuck about your powers.
Which that nigga was wild.
I was like, what's going on? Yeah, he's like, so interesting. You think you can get out of here? It was like, who is like, that?
At one point I was a Nazi. I'm like, what? The whole thing was fucking nuts. It's like, is this supposed to be played in 1960s? Because that's the only reason that guy would talk like that.
I don't know, man. But it was just Jamie Foxx, like Electro was just, he completely missed the mark. He's like over here talking about vengeance against Spider-Man. It's like, vengeance against his lab. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
His vendetta should have been with Oscorp. Oscorp is the reason why the reckless shit got him killed in the first place. Spider-Man literally just stopped him from hurting other people because he couldn't control himself. So again, also leaned more into him being mentally unstable.
When they had this nigga just dipped in the pool, he didn't drown. He didn't drown. They just kept him just submerged in water. Yeah. And the nigga didn't drown. And he was face down in that shit. What the fuck is going on? So is Electro, water is his fucking kryptonite. But water won't kill him though, because you can submerge that nigga in water. He'd just be like, when I get out of here, I'm gonna be good. But don't you spray me with a water gun because I'm gonna be bad again. It's like, so like, again, this nigga ain't drowned.
Yeah.
It's like, when I was watching, I was just like, how that nigga ain't drowned? I know you guys think it's like, how many times this nigga's gonna ask some questions about him drowning? But like, seriously.
Yeah. It was very annoying. And also Harry just gets knocked out after he just throws Gwen Stacy. Like it's
Yeah.
like that's it. Okay. I guess they were clearly like keeping him for the third one. And so it's probably gonna be two like goblins that he had to fight and shit. But I was just like,
Yeah.
this is stupid.
I mean, at the same time, like when Peter threw that weapon down and grabbed Gwen by the hand the first time, right? She separated her shoulder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was she ain't pulling herself up for nothing.
Gwen's fucked up no matter what. If he had saved her, she still would have had at least a broken back, if not like a few broken limbs from just the impact of the whiplash of being
Yeah.
pulled up.
Well, I mean
That would
that's
have fucked her.
technically that technically that's what killed her. But
Well, I mean, but she hit the ground too, and she snapped back up.
no, she didn't hit the ground. She didn't hit the ground.
I watched it in slow mo today, dude. Yeah, it's not graphic because obviously they're not gonna show her cracking her head, but it's like
Mm.
it's really quick. It's fucked up. That's why I was like, this is such a fucked up death for her. I mean, obviously that's how she dies in the comics. She falls to her death, but it was just
Yeah.
like, guys, what are we like? Because tonally the movie is just so jarring. I'm sure young people were fucked up probably by that.
Yeah, man. I remember seeing this. I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yo, they really killed her. Like they really killed her. I was like, okay, and now what? And the fact that we didn't get a third one, like, well, I mean,
Yeah,
she's
bro.
not coming back or anything, but
After she died, the fact that they didn't give us a third one, that was a travesty because you knew that third one, especially the way that character played, it would have went to more of the darker spot. But actually, that would have been that would have been a better movie to bring Venom in, as opposed to the Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. Like that's a perfect setup for Venom to pop up in the movie.
yeah, to like go for its darker impulses and stuff like that for sure.
Yeah, so like, and then if you're gonna bring the Sinister Six in and all that shit, it's just like, bro, like that's where Venom comes in. You're like, okay, this made sense, and that's like, oh wow, actually, I'm kind of interested in seeing that movie, even though I knew that they most likely didn't want to do Venom again, especially how terribly it played out last time. But that character, this Spider-Man has more of a reason to show, a darker side because he's fucking grieving. He's grieving, like, yeah. And it's like, it's not like a thing where it's just like, oh, she died. It's just like, nah, he was amidst something and he was trying to save her and he just didn't make it in time.
And again, I think that's a testament to Andrew Garfield and how he played it and how likable he was as Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Because when he saves Zendaya's MJ in No Way Home, dude, I remember getting goosebumps when he saved her, like, and he starts crying. He gets teared up. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And like tears up. Because if you like had watched those movies, you knew what that meant to that iteration of the character and why that was such a powerful moment. And I think that's a great.
And it's just like fans. He learned from it. He learned from it. He learned from what happened to Gwen. He's just like, I can't just snatch this bitch up like this. I gotta, yeah.
But I love stuff like that. That's a good payoff for fans. Like,
yes.
Hey, if you've been fucking with this character for a long time, even when we fucked up, like this is a cool moment for you. You know what I mean? It's it's a nice throwback. That's why, like, as meta as Deadpool and Wolverine was, I like that we got like a little like recognition of like the contributions that Wesley Snipes' Blade did. You know what I mean? And like, I appreciate that. And also Hugh Jackman, like, just being acknowledged, like, you are Wolverine. You're gonna be doing this to your 90. Like, you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It sucks because again, Andrew Garfield, but again, I think he got some really good closure with the role. Is he going to be in Secret Wars or Doomsday? Who knows? It would be hilarious if he is in one of them and he finally does get to fight an alien. Because remember, he felt left out of not being able to fight an alien. But yeah, man, it's just it's a tragedy how like Sony just Sony constantly kind of gets in their own way in a lot of times, and like for this one, they just had planned so much ahead instead of just focusing on making good shit to then spin off. You know what I mean? Like when you do quantity over quality, it shows. And with IP like Spider-Man, just because it's such a popular character, you can't just be like lazy and expect everyone to follow whatever you want to fucking throw at them. You have to actually have like a why. You have to have heart behind it. And it had a great cast too. Like the cast tried to do their thing, except for Jamie Foxx. But I also think that's the direction I don't know what happened with Mark Webber. Maybe he couldn't direct Jamie Foxx, or because if I saw the dailies of this, I would have been like, guys, his shit's like Looney Tunes. Like, why are Jamie Foxx and like Paul Giamatti like Scooby Doo villains? It had that kind of old school, like kind of weird
60. It was like 60s Batman vibes.
Yeah, it was very odd, man.
But worse.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I mean, not that many people liked it. It didn't do well.
Yeah, this is by far the worst fucking Spider-Man. No,
it really
it's
is.
3. It's 3.
No, this is worse than 3. This is worse than 3 because at least
I don't know, bro.
3 is really bad. 3 is really bad, but at least 3 was rewatching. It was actually like funny because I was like taking a lot of notes. I'm like, oh, we're gonna fucking make comedy out of this, like talking about this movie. This movie was just a drag to watch, and also you're like, it's gonna be a sad ass ending. This is gonna suck. Like this sucks. Watching,
but honestly though, that ending actually paid off. The ending is actually the best part of this movie because the ending is actually what makes this movie watchable. Because all the other shit,
ending, except for the Rhino costume.
Yeah, the Rhino costume was horrible. But I mean, like after Gwen dies, is like it's in a way it almost like that's the start of this movie.
Yeah, but
that's the start of a much. I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's the start of a much better movie.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
It's like this is. It's really disheartening how this whole thing worked out, because if they made a third film, that third film could have been absolutely amazing.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just a failure on so many fucking ways, on so many realms.
Jamie Foxx became the first actor to portray a Spider-Man film villain, and he set us back several years. Multiple actors, including Eddie Redmayne, were considered for Harry Osborn. Sally Field criticized her character as underdeveloped. And Andrew Garfield only earned $1 million for this movie, far less than what Toby earned for Spider-Man 2. That sucks. Damn.
That's bullshit.
I mean, hopefully you got a lot on the back end, even though this was the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie.
Even though this still made $716 million.
Yeah. End credits teased the canceled Sinister Six spinoff of Villain Equipment Schematics. Yes, we saw that. And then isn't Norman Osborn's head like around or something like that? Like they showed his like head like in a jar or some shit. Yeah, in that lab. Yeah, like so I was like, oh, say there's gonna be like a robotic Green Goblin. What the fuck are we doing? Anyways, Justin, do you have any Letterboxd reviews?
Yes,
for
I
the
do.
Amazing Spider-Man 2?
All right, up first we got Matt Lynch. Matt Lynch says cinema will certainly survive the superhero era, but I may not. 1.5 stars.
Okay.
All right. Up next, we have Matt Singer. Matt Singer says, can we get Doctor Strange to cast the spell that magically erases everything in this movie except Andrew Garfield's Peter and Emma Stone's Gwen? 2 stars. Yeah, fair. That's fair. Yeah. Up next, we have Lim F. Lim says, if there's one thing that's undeniably missing from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's a dubstep rendition of the Itsy Bitsy Spider. 2.5 stars. Up next, we have Elvis the Alien. Elvis the Alien says Sally Field doesn't get nearly enough love for her portrayal of Aunt May in these movies. Still thinking about Jamie Foxx's Dr. Manhattan cosplay and and Dehan's. I mean,
making him blue?
I don't know. Huh. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. I mean, you're just gonna see a fucking blue dick swinging throughout this movie
because he looked fine yellow, so it's not like a color thing. And like No Way Home, he was yellow, like the original, like that's the original Electro color. So it's very odd that they went blue. I don't
know why they did that, but and Dehan's crusty goblin face. His face is really crusty and is actually very off-putting. 2 stars for that one. Up next we have
doing all that makeup. He said it was a nightmare.
Oh, I imagine so. I mean, but also he didn't have to do that much makeup. Fucking stop it. That's not that much makeup.
Suit too. He said it was really uncomfortable and like he was just constantly sweating.
Stop being a bitch,
Probably had
bro.
like boils in his ass and stuff.
You're doing a Spider-Man movie, kid.
Yeah, but it
Stop
bombed
it.
though. Imagine being part of a bad comic book movie. You know,
Bro,
it's gonna.
any movie that you could you're a part of
Yeah.
can be a bomb. So it's just like that's why you got to come in prepared and do everything you got to do to make these movies good, right?
Yeah.
It's just like maybe as an artist he should have been like, does this really make sense? And asked a few questions. I don't know. Because like, yes, it is on the script. It's on the, but it's also, any artistic pursuit is a collaborative effort, especially when you're making a film. So like, maybe he should ask a few more questions, so he can give us a better fucking, bullshit ass fucking Green Goblin. All right. Up next, we have Zoe Rose Bryant. Zoe Rose Bryant says, there's a good movie in here somewhere if you keep everything with Peter and Gwen and get rid of everything else. 3 stars.
That's true. That's true.
And last but not least, we have Ellie. Ellie says, every time I watch these movies, I go thinking I'll develop the ability to be critical and objective. And then every single time I will just wind up crying and wanting Andrew Garfield's Spidey back. 4 stars. Yeah, I mean, again, I think that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man could have been great if we got that last movie. I think they could have redeemed this in some way somehow, but like, yeah, this one was rough. And listen, if it was just Jamie Foxx's character, maybe they could have lived through that. But it's like Green Goblin was also really fucking stupid.
Everyone was terrible. All the villains were so cartoonish. The Board versus Harry Osborn. That was the whole plot line, and that was stupid and also comical. The whole Felicity, the hint with the black cat stuff was weird, and like luckily a lot of those scenes got cut, but it still wasn't adding to anything. BJ Novak's like scientist character was clearly nefarious. That was stupid, and so the way he was just so dismissive towards Max, it was like, yeah, this is an HR violation, bro. Like, yeah, you're at Oscorp, but you could be getting all the money. You're one of the few black people here. In 2016, yeah, there's a lawsuit. But that's what it is. What it is, We did get some we got one Patriot thought on the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't think too many people want to revisit this trauma. And remember, folks, when you sign up at patreon.com/mediumpopcorn, you were guaranteed to have your thoughts or reviews of the film we're talking about right on that episode. So Mac25 wrote, I never knew getting shots by eels could fix your teeth and give you fresh waves. Goodbye, Dominican barbers. Hello, electric eels. Also, I wish Garfield got a 3rd. I enjoyed his Spider-Man. All right. Well, that's our Patriot thought. And Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
Stop calling me baby. How about that? So, guys, you know how we do. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any hot, buttery, delicious popcorn, stop calling me baby, you son of a bitch. We throw it into the stale popcorn pile. We pile piles and piles of stale popcorn on top of it. So, Brandon, we sat down and watched Amazing Spider-Man 2, a 2024, a 2014 superhero film. Andrew Garfield and Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, and I'm not even gonna say the rest of the cast because they don't deserve it. What say you, sir?
Yeah, this gets a small, and it doesn't get a pile of stale popcorn because Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are so good.
Yeah,
like this movie doesn't deserve their performances and their dedication and their chemistry. Because I think they were still dating at the time of this movie, so that clearly shows. But like they give it this. When you hire really strong actors that eventually become Academy Award winners and nominees, you get performances like this. It's just that the script and the execution, it all failed them, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you have so many people who are like, yeah, that movie was dog shit, but I love Andrew Garfield in the role. That's why you constantly see that. That's why No Way Home, like I said, was so satisfying for the people that were cheerleaders and fans of Andrew Garfield's portrayal of the character and got to see kind of a full circle moment if we never did get that 3rd, film. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to lie. Once we're done here today, I'm going to watch that scene where he saves MJ.
Oh yeah, I watch it. Yeah. I watch it all the time on YouTube with the fan reaction, with the audience reaction. It's fucking. I rewatch that one, and I rewatch Endgame fan reaction.
Yeah,
when Sam's on your left, because I still remember seeing that movie theater when they all line up for Avengers Assemble. I remember being like, they fucking did it. Like,
Yeah.
how they like make this like, because like at that point, what it had been like 18 movies, and so you're
Yeah.
just like, as you, I invested so much, and they've actually did it.
Yeah.
They had 2 recasts in the fucking over 10 years of movie making. That's insane.
Yeah. Nuts.
Now it all fell apart. It immediately fell apart.
Yeah. Right after, that was it. That was it. Chadwick died and fucking things just went down.
Yeah. R.I.P. Chadwick, man. That death fucking caused a lot of things. Anyways, Justin, what's your rating?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a small as well. I'll give it a small as well. I'm basically echoing exactly what you said. This movie doesn't deserve Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone in this film. Everyone else was, for the most part, trash. Paul Giamatti should be fucking Paul Giamatti, and fucking Jamie Foxx should be ashamed of themselves for those characters. But like, and also the script. The script was horrible, but there's only so much you could do when you're polishing up a turd. But they should have known better. They should have known better. I'm not saying the actors. I mean the studio. Then to release something like this and push the actors, in this bad place.
100%. Well, folks, that's our review on the Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is our last Spider-Man movie, Justin, because we've reviewed all the other ones. We reviewed the Tom Holland ones, the Spider-Verse movies. So, what was it like revisiting the Tobey Maguire, now the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies for you?
Well, I mean, this reaffirmed me that Tobey Maguire is my number 3 Spider-Man. It's it's actually it's Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield. Depending on the movie, and then it's Tobey Maguire is always going to be the last. I think his Spider-Man is the worst. Some of his movies, he has some of the best movies because of the kind of the first ones to do it. But like he's a terrible Spider-Man.
I agree. I like Tom Holland's incredibly likable, especially when like teenage Peter Parker, like actually like he's a kid. Like Homecoming, I remember being so fucking like scared for that version of the character, because I'm like, he's a teenager. Like he looks like a teen. So him getting the shit kicked out of him by Michael Keaton, I'm like, yo, Mike,
relax.
He's beating this kid on fucking the beach and shit. He's like, bro, he was just a problem with your daughter. Let him live. But yeah, like I agree. Like I think this definitely Spider-Man 2 is still a great Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
But I think that Andrew Garfield, like he's the perfect Spider-Man Peter Parker we've seen live action to me.
Yeah.
It just, his movies were so bad sometimes people forget that, or like it's overshadowed because the MCU, like especially with the Spider-Man movies, they focus so much on making sure that those stories are good, and that the villains are solid. I still love Spider-Man. It's a great character. It's always gonna but at the same time, it is a character that deserves some love and attention on all factions of production, not just their performances. So. But again, I'm glad that we got some closure with Andrew Garfield. If we never see his iteration of Spider-Man again, I think that No Way Home did a really good job with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. So, folks, that's a review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that's also our last Spider-Man movie review. So, hope you all have enjoyed this series. Let us know what you thought. Shoot us an email at mediumpod@gmail.com or send us a direct message on our social media. All of our handles are at MediumP Podcast. And you can follow me personally at Frodo_Blackens on Instagram and Threads. That's where I be at. FrodoBlackens.com for show dates. I'm going on tour in June for Drunk Black History. And I'm also doing a lot of stand-up gigs in the city and stuff. So, again, FrodoBlackens.com for those show dates and tickets for Drunk Black History. And Justin, how can people follow you as well as support the show financially if they choose to do so?
Well, guys, you can follow me at J Brown Dinner on all the social media platforms. And if you want to support this show, show us a little love, go over to Patreon, patreon.com/mediumpopcorn. We have $2, $5, $10, and $15 packages. If you're looking for our backlogs of episodes, it's on Patreon. You want bonus content? It's on Patreon. Mini shows? Patreon. Guys, again, that's patreon.com/mediumpopcorn.
There you go, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes. Hope y'all have a great time. Wherever you listen to this, afterwards, you have a smile on your face, like, man, Brandon and Justin, those are some good eggs, We should sign up for Patreon.
I didn't know what you were gonna say. I didn't know what you were gonna say.
I know. I was like, ooh, I go down a dark path for this.
Do some good. Do some good.
Yeah, it's weird. I love how Jamie Foxx got a chance to redeem himself with Electro, and he just played himself in No Way Home, and it was just so much better. We're just like, we'll just take that. It doesn't make any sense for the Electro character, but sure, like it's way better.
Like, because this shit was garbage.
So insane. And he knew it too. I think he said relatively like soon after the movie came out, he said, "Oh yeah, we missed the mark on that one." I was like, "Yeah, dude, did you not see the footage? Like, it was all right."
Yeah, what were you thinking? All right, guys.
All right, baby. It's time for us to wrap this up. We'll talk to you soon, folks. Peace.
Stop calling me baby.
Medium popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me. And Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.